They've gone a little bit wayward. Right, that should be fine now. Right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Right, so we're here, you're there. Good morning. It's hard work trying to organize all these different cameras all the time. Jesus Christ. Right, Instagram, sorry, that was a bit hard work. Hey, TikTok. And then we got YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I think I better move you forward because otherwise you're just staring at the back of those cameras. Right, there we go. We're in there, wonky, but wobbly, but we just aren't that bothered. So, what we're going to talk about over the next 20 minutes, half hour, is with a load of the stuff that we're doing now, one of the biggest problems for most businesses is they're stagnant. And it sounds like I'm being really harsh, and I don't mean it to sound really harsh, but when you're thinking about your business itself, you've got to look at a certain few areas. And so whether you're here on Insta, whether you're here on TikTok, whether you're here on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, the vast majority of people out there that have a business, they are 5 to 10% either up or down on last month, typically. And all they're doing is bouncing around continuously. The same level of stress, the same level of problems, the same hurdles. And it's not getting better for them, which is quite hard for people. Because, oh, that cough's no good. Because, and this is the big thing I want to bring up. This isn't about people just working harder. For the vast majority of people out there, it is not just about trying to work harder in your business. The big thing that we've got is we want to have freedom in our business. We want to make money in our business. But a lot of the problems that we've got and a lot of the problems that we're facing, we've been stuck with them for quite a bit of time. And the problem that we've got is we don't know how to fix them. And this isn't just about sales. This is just in general. The vast majority of the time out there, we don't know how to fix the problem. Otherwise, we would have fixed the problem. And so then we've got to look at what are the big problems that we're facing. Is it purely down to not enough people know us? Good morning, Florin. By the way, so if you see me looking at different cameras, that's because we're here on TikTok, we're here on Instagram, and then on this camera here, we've got YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So we've got to look at a number of different areas. Maybe it's the fact that you think I need more revenue. Now, yes, more revenue would make life a lot better. The big thing we might find, so SNP11 said, lost your office. No, we're now utilizing this amazing place with the big roof terrace and a separate office in one place where people now actually come to me directly, which is far better. Hence why it's such a cool place. Because this is where we can now host groups of people rather than having an office. So you might have a factor of initially you want more revenue. Maybe that's the big hurdle that you've got. But actually, maybe it's the fact of the conversions that you have for that revenue is a big problem. Maybe it's the fact that your profit margins aren't quite where they should be. So actually, although you could get more revenue, if you could improve your profit margins, that's another way to get more money in the door. We've just helped a company at the moment. They were at 32% and they got to 38%. Now, that doesn't sound a lot of money, but if you've got a business that's doing 3 million quid a year, that extra 6% of pure profit makes a big difference. That's money that goes into marketing, into generating more leads, which then, again, keeps moving things forward. Maybe you think that you need to scale a team. Maybe you just need to get more leads. But then we come into the problem of, even if you want to get more leads, you've got two ways of going down that road. You've got the organic side, which has its benefits, and then you've got the paid side, which also has its benefits. But they both also have their problems too. So you can get organic traffic. Say if you're watching this now, this is organic. Say if you watch me every week and you do this for 6 months, the likelihood that if you got on a call with one of the team or me, that you would buy would be far more, because you've got a higher level of confidence in what we do and how we do it. The flip side, paid ads, we can target into people, but it doesn't always mean that those people know us to a level that they're ready to move forward. So it's really important to start thinking about what is the actual big areas within our business now, and which one is the biggest priority for us. And for anyone who's liking all these posts and all that stuff, I appreciate it. It's really kind. So we've got to start looking at, okay, where's my focus at the moment, and where am I spending my hours? Where am I spending my time? And for a lot of the problem is the activities that we're doing on the highest level of time aren't necessarily producing us the highest level of results. So if you're at the stage now that 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a month are actually spent on something which doesn't really produce much revenue, you can often find that a tweak and a change and adjustment is going to make a big difference. But that might become down to the fact that those 40 hours are either done ineffectively, being done in a way that doesn't produce it in the right way, or you're just off target. So whether you're here today on Insta, whether you're here on TikTok, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, you've got to look at a number of areas. So if we look at the time spent on activities that aren't performing, we have to think about the fact, could those activities' performance be improved, or should that activity in timescale be reduced or outsourced to someone else? If you've got an activity in your business now which is a low cost and you could outsource to someone else, meaning you could do a higher valued higher valued task, that makes sense. But if you don't have the skills and the confidence and the competency to do it at a higher level, you might well be better off you doing that task, keep doing that task, and you outsource the higher value task to someone else who is the expert. And for the vast majority of the time now, people need to really understand to themselves where their skills really lie. And the problem we've got, especially in sales and within business, in exactly the same way that most people that drive a car wouldn't turn around and say that they're a bad driver. But every single one of us, whether you're here on YouTube, Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, we've all seen terrible drivers on the road. So if we are sure there are terrible drivers, could it not be the fact that sometimes we also drive terribly? Probably. So in business, could it be the fact that sometimes the things that we're doing aren't the most effective? We're not doing them in the right way. We're not doing them in a way that actually moves us forward. And one of the biggest changes that we've got to start looking at is how you're spending your week. And the hours that you spend in your business, in your job, doing what you're doing, how effective are you in those areas? I know people now that are working crazily long hours and they're not getting results. And if you're working crazy long hours and you're not getting results, something has to change. And it's likely going to be a skills or it's going to be a process-based problem. Because if you're doing all the hard work, but it's still not working, you've got to look at changing something else up. And in the same way, now, if you're working, say, 40 hours a week and you want to double your revenue, just working 80 hours a week also doesn't make sense. We're all getting to the stage now that the summer's going to come through. People are going to want to work less. They're going to want to take holidays. We want to spend time with our families, maybe want to travel more. But for us to do all these things, we've got to make sure that we're doing the changes now and actioning the changes now that are going to actually move us forward. There can often be something for you that you could do today that might take you 3 hours, but it might save you 15 minutes a day for the next 6 months. It might be something that you can put in place today that will make your life easier. And I'll give you a prime example of something which makes a massive difference. So whether you're here on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, or Insta, we use videos all the time. And we've got a 34-minute blueprint explainer video that why people work with us as a prime example. Now that 34-minute video took me probably 3 hours of planning, took me about an hour of recording. Then I had to spend money on getting it edited and making it look nice. It's just a lot of work. But now, anytime someone wants to have a conversation with us, before they get on a call, we can just give them the video to watch. And if they don't watch a 34-minute video, they're unlikely to make the decision to work with us. But actually now, that means every single one of our calls with a potential client is actually 30% less. And it also means that we can have that sent out to a huge amount of people that aren't quite ready at the stage, but they're ready to buy. And it can help build the interest that that person has to move forward. So although that might have took 4 or 5 hours, it saves us at least 10 to 15 hours a week. And that, as we grow and as we scale with a team, will compound more and more. Because for every person that joins into the team, they can also use that same video. They can also use that same system. They can also use that same process to move things forward. And for the vast majority of us, the reason our businesses are stagnating is because we're caught up on the day-to-day activities, the hamster wheel, the thing that's moving us forward, because we don't know how to get ahead of things. And you're just on that hamster wheel every single day, working hard, hitting the phones, doing appointments, trying to keep your head above water. And this is why for a lot of businesses, it gets stuck at that sort of 20 to 30 grand a month mark for guys, solar, heating, coaches, consultants, experts, people that sell over sort of a 2-stage principle, where it might be a lead comes in, they set an appointment, they do a close, or it might be the fact they have paid ads and it goes into a 1-call close. This is because those people are working really, really hard. They're putting in the work, they're putting in the effort, and they can't seem to get ahead, because it's not just about working harder. It's about understanding, first and foremost, what are those areas I can make the improvements on? And then working out how can I build out the system behind that to get ahead of the business so that it's actually going to make life easier. We had a client the other day who's in the solar space, fantastic company, really, really nice guy, genuinely nice guy. I'm not going to name him, but he's a really, really nice guy. But when we walked through the process of onboarding, once you had done an appointment and done the face-to-face meeting, into how you closed the business, it was so disjointed that it actually took 3 times longer than it needed to. It added resistance in the sales process and actually lowered their conversions. So as soon as we got rid of all this faff and made it simple, easy, simple to follow and repeatable, it meant the fact that this one bit of time might have took us 3 hours to build. But it's actually saved on every single appointment that they sit, probably 25 minutes. It also means they're going to convert more. So they're going to work less and convert more. That's surely got to be the goal. And if you guys are here on Insta, or you're here on TikTok, or you're here on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, we've got to start working out how can we utilize technology to a better way to help us move forward. And if you're watching this and you want to get the video, just go to becomeyourpotential.info. It's there. You can just watch it for free. But it's so important to start thinking, what is it I don't know? What are the things that are actually other people out there are doing, and how can I implement them into my own business? I genuinely think it's one of the best things you can be doing with your business. And it's the easiest way to get out of having a stagnant business. And it doesn't mean that stagnant isn't doing well. You could be making 100 grand a month. You could be doing 20 grand a month. But if you're not moving forward now because you're time poor, it's about what you can do to move it forward within your own life as well. Right, that's us done for today. I'm going to be back later this week. I've got to go and get ready for calls because we've got our client calls and we've got our group coaching for our paid clients as well. So go and have a great start to the week. Anyone needs it, go to becomeyourpotential.info, and I will see you later this week. First off, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Goodbye.